Week 16 Giants reaction. I can't believe it's already week 16. We only got one more left in this miserable season, back-to-back miserable seasons. We are now 5-10, shockingly. I'm not very shocked, but I did say 8-8 to start the season, so I guess 5-10. Not where I want to be right now, obviously. This game was like kind of weird. It was kind of like the Philadelphia one we had like 4 or 5 weeks ago in Philly, where we had a really good first half. Looked like we were dominating the game, and then the wheels just completely fell off in the second half. I mean, it wasn't entirely similar because at least we had some offensive life in the second half, but for the most part, it kind of was the same story. Just happened this time in Indianapolis. So I want to give Eli Manning credit, though. I mean, except for that dumb interception on the last pass of the game, he did look pretty good for for the most part. I mean, the ball had a lot of zip on it today. He looked a lot more lively, if that's even a word. But I'm gonna say I think they use it in baseball, but I'm gonna say it for Eli Manning in this instance. But he did look good today. He looked like the old version of Eli, and of course ended the game in the stupid decision. But it is what it is. I mean, we know what we get with him, and that's pretty much it at this point. So yeah, I said we're 5-10 now, and I'll jump into the positives real quick. So first I have first half Eli and a rushing touchdown. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely love when Eli Manning gets a rushing touchdown. This is like the first one he's had since that Buccaneer game like last year, and that was amazing. He ran it from like 10 yards in. This was a QB sneak, but like it's a play that no one sees coming. Like you're full on expecting Barkley to get a handoff up the middle. Maybe Elijah Penny gets it, but no, Eli Manning, QB sneak, 6 points. It was pretty awesome, so I love seeing that stuff. Sterling Shepard had an amazing game today, made some really acrobatic catches, went up and got it for us, made big plays when we needed it. 6 catches, 113 yards. Evan Engram, I mean, I kind of, said his name a few weeks ago. I was like, where the hell has this guy been? I know he's been injured and all that kind of stuff, but there was a point in the season where Rhett Ellison was playing over him, and that was looking like a first-round bust. It's his second season. Had some drop issues this year and last year, but now he's kind of looking like that guy that we drafted in the first round. I still don't think he's going to be worth a first-round pick at any point in his career, but we have him, and we might as well use him. He's a very versatile tight end, obviously. He runs, like a 4.40 or something like that. I mean, it's crazy how athletic this guy is. He was 6 for 87 today. Had a couple of runs, I think, for like 26 yards or something like that. So we're finally starting to see a bit of the ceiling of what Engram can be, and of course not having Odell and having not Sterling Shepard, Saquon Barkley limited today, definitely escalated his play overall, so that helped. Finally, the first drive looked good. I've kind of pointed that out the last 2 weeks in the negatives that their first drives have not looked very good at all. They had the game in Washington 3-and-out. They had the game 2 weeks ago. I forget who we were playing. No, Washington wasn't last week. Now I'm already forgetting. I just remember that we had 2 bad drives the last 2 games. So we finally put together a good one. Put up a touchdown. Everything looked good. Michael Thomas on defense, another nice game. Had 5 tackles, couple nice hits, some deflections. I mean, he's been making plays for us all season, and I always said I'm not the biggest Gettleman fan when it came to free agent signings this year, but Michael Thomas has been one hell of a find and a person that I didn't know existed up until this year. So they took him from Miami, wasn't really well known, but he's making his name known in New York this year. Nate Solder definitely deserves credit for his pass blocking. I mean, I'll get into run blocking later, not for Solder specifically, but for the whole offensive line. Just garbage. But for Solder's pass blocking, it's gotten much better. I don't think the Colts have any amazing defensive ends, but he has done a better job the second half of the season, especially since the bye. He's been improving. Solder, they always said in New England, was a better second half player in terms of second half of the season, so we're definitely seeing that right now. Got to give credit to Dalvin Tomlinson on the run stopping. He did a great job. Marlon Mack really didn't expose us today, and he's a pretty good back. I mean, I think Mack had maybe 1 or 2 pretty good runs, but outside of that, really nothing happening. And this guy I always shit on, Olivier Vernon, finally got some pressure today, but really had like no results. He had a play where there was a fumble, I think it was a fumble. Yeah, he had a sack fumble recovered by B.J. Hill, I think it was, but it was called defensive holding maybe or something like that. I think it was on Janoris Jenkins if I remember correctly. So At least he, got to the quarterback on one play. I'll try to get the video in here so you guys can see it. But if memory serves me correct, I think he had a sack fumble that was, called back due to penalty. So that is it for the positives. I'm trying to think right now if there's anything else. I mean, I guess it's a positive that we lost the game, right? I mean, I honestly did not want to win that. At this point in the season, we don't really need to win games when you're 5-9 coming in. I mean, what the hell is a win going to do for you? I mean, if you win the next two, you go 7-9 and get a worse draft pick. So it is what it is. I mean, it was pretty fun. We were on that winning streak a couple weeks ago, but then once we started losing, it was like, all right, I kind of just want my quarterback next year. Give me the highest pick possible. So that's what I'm going for. Good job losing today, boys. And for the negatives, we have Saquon Barkley. Definitely not all on him, but I'm starting to wonder if he's kind of hit like that rookie wall, as they call it, where like, a rookie's not used to playing this many games and getting this many touches in a season because it's a longer season than collegiate ball. So, I mean, I'm kind of wondering if he's kind of slowing down because he's tired or whatever. I think most of it's because of the shitty offensive line blocking on running plays, but it could be a mixture of both. So that leads me to my next negative, where I have offensive line run holes. There's none there, it seems like. I mean, Saquon, if there's a hole, he'll find it. It has not been there the last couple of games. And the Titans, that's who it was, the Titans. The Titans shut him down. Today, the Colts shut him down. I mean, these are smart teams that are, fighting for playoff spots. They want it more than us, obviously, and they definitely found out how to stop the Giants. I think the Giants, they really miss Odell. I know there's a lot of, not a lot, but there's a group of Odell haters out there. People that call themselves Giants fans yet hate Odell Beckham and say he's not that important to this team. But I hope these last couple of weeks have shown you how important he is. I mean, yeah, the Giants put up points today, but like, if Odell was on the field today, I feel like Saquon would have a much better game. I think those two guys feed off each other. Let's hypothetically say that, Saquon was out today and Odell was in. Well, then you could focus in on Odell because he's obviously the most dynamic player on the Giants' offensive side. I mean, you got to count for Evan Engram and Shepard, but for the most part, it's going to be Odell. And same thing, if Odell's out, you got to focus in on Saquon because he's the most dynamic player on the Giants' offense by far. So, the defenses for the Colts and the Titans last week did a great job, so you got to give them credit. The linebackers for us had a poor game covering and run stopping. No Alec Ogletree today with a concussion. I mean, there were many times where linebackers were covering receivers, and I'll get into that later. I think that was a bad job of calling defense, but there were plays with Nyheim Hines, the scat back for the Colts, and was matched up on linebackers, and that guy, what the hell is his name, Pascal or something, and Dontrell Inman was making catches on linebackers because we kept playing zone defense and wouldn't change anything. So I wasn't a big fan of that, but the linebackers needed to do a better job. I think the Colts just called a good game. B.W. Webb is not a starter in this league. That's literally what I wrote down. I mean, he's just not. It sucks. We did trade Eli Apple, got a 4th-round pick and a 7th-round pick. I support that all day, any day. But B.W. Webb better not be the cornerback opposite of Janoris Jenkins next year. We do get Sam Beal back, hopefully, who was supposed to be with us this year in his rookie season, but got hurt. So, look, I wouldn't be mad if B.W. Webb was cut. I kind of expect that to happen right now, but he has not had the best season so far on the Giants. So here we go. So Betcher's zone scheme wasn't working, and Andrew Luck was picking them apart. I mean, I don't know why they stuck to it for so long. I mean, Andrew Luck, I don't know what his stats were this game, but they must have been pretty damn good. I don't think we even got a turnover on him. So I think they just needed to do a better job calling a defense. There was no man, it seemed like. It was just all zone. They would, the receivers would just find the soft spot, and Andrew Luck would convert 8 or 9, yard catches every time, and first down after first down, and they didn't adjust anything. And then there were times where linebackers were on running backs and linebackers were on speedy receivers. Made no sense to me. So I think they needed to do a better job of calling a game on defense. There was a big missed opportunity in this game. As I said, I kind of wanted them to lose this game, so I really didn't care. But if this was an important game, then this would be a play that would lose you a game. The Janoris Jenkins dropped interception in the 4th quarter. I believe it was the middle of the fourth quarter. The receiver wasn't even looking, and Andrew Luck threw the ball. Janoris had to go up and get it. It was a ball he should have had for sure. I'm sure he knows it, and we all saw it. It's a ball he usually comes up with, so it was disappointing, but he did drop the interception. Maybe he's embracing the tank. It's fine with me. I just want the high pick, as I said. Once again, there's a lot of missed tackles. I said this last week for the Titans game. It seemed like no one wanted to tackle Derrick Henry last week. As I said, I would not want to tackle Derrick Henry, but I'm not getting paid to play in the NFL, so I can't really talk from that perspective. But there were plenty of missed tackles today. They need to work on that. I mean, I don't know how many guys are out here making business decisions to just kind of go easy on themselves and just get into the offseason healthy. I don't know how many guys are actually trying to play and win these games, but oh well. I mean, it's happening. They're missing tackles. It's easy to see, all that kind of stuff. Last one, Eli's triple coverage throw to Fowler. I think it was Benny Fowler with one timeout left was a really, really bad decision. I think there was 31 seconds left when that ball was snapped. As I said, they had a timeout, so it's not like they needed to go out of bounds. Eli obviously threw it in the middle of the field, but the coach's film hasn't came out yet, but I'm pretty sure there were other open receivers on this play. I'll put it in slow motion so you guys can see. I think on the top of the screen, I don't know who the receiver was. I believe there was a guy open. Evan Engram was definitely open, even though he was like a few yards away from Eli, but it's better than throwing in the triple coverage, just some, your third or fourth receiver. I mean, that made no sense to me at all. But just some bad decisions today. Poor coaching on defense. Just the same thing. I mean, when the Giants went up 14-0, I don't know how many of you actually thought we were going to win that game. I mean, for a second, I was kind of thinking, like, maybe they win this game, but then, like, I didn't want to get fooled by this team again, so I was like, nah, the Colts got this, and then they eventually pulled it out. I'm pissed off at myself for not betting the Colts halfway through this game. That would have made a decent amount, so oh well. But yeah, now we're 5-10. We have one more game left against Dallas. I hope Odell makes it back next week. That's pretty much all I have to look forward to. I hope it's a high-scoring game that we lose, just to see if it's Eli Manning's last game at home and last game starting as a Giants quarterback, then I hope he has a great performance, but not too great to the point where they think like, oh, we can bring him back next year and go 6-10 again. Like, no, I don't want that. But I really hope ownership is getting it. I really hope they understand what to do. I don't trust our GM right now, but we'll see what happens. I mean, he's a guy who doesn't believe in analytics, obviously, and kind of just goes off his gut and watches film. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not too enthusiastic about where this franchise is going. I mean, it seems like they never want to cut ties with Eli Manning, no matter how washed up he seems. I mean, he did look better today. I admitted it, but like, he lost you the game today with the interception. So, I don't want to see him back next year. I hope they announce before the game on Sunday that this is going to be his last start as a Giant, so we can all enjoy it and embrace it and all that kind of stuff. And hopefully they sit him down and say like, hey, we appreciate everything you've done for us, but I think it's best that we go our separate ways next year and all that kind of stuff. If they do bring him back, as I said, it better be on a pay cut, because I do not want him playing for this team in general. But if they pay him the $22 million next year, I will flip. I mean, I cannot stand that. I really hope they know what they're doing. But then again, the Giants GMs, they seem incompetent, so I really don't know what to believe anymore. I'll probably rant about this team more next week. I mean, I kind of just want to, get the last game over with and then talk about this team. But there's going to be a lot of videos coming up for the Giants for me. I'm going to have a complete season reaction. What should the Giants do this off season? All that kind of stuff. I'm making highlight videos right now. I have pretty much Saquon's is done. I have Odell's done. If there's any other Giants players highlights you want to see, then leave it in the comments, and I'll definitely try to make that for you guys. And as always, just leave a like and comment what you thought about this game, if you even bothered watching it. I kind of hope you didn't, because if you wanted the Giants to win, you got your heart broken again. But I'm at the point now where I am not emotionally invested, and I am not getting my heart broken by this team again. So I've learned my lesson 16 weeks in. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will talk to you after the Dallas game.